Our next speaker is Swami Prasanna Atmananda of the Vedanta Society in Berkeley, and he will be speaking on yoga for transformation of consciousness, as given by Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda suggested a synthesis of yogas for the transformation of consciousness. This talk will present the nature of this transformation and the 3 stages for the synthesis to occur. Invite Swami Prasanna Atma.
Let what we hear may bring some good to us. Just now we have heard from the previous speaker a wonderful talk, and during his discourse he told us that we have to transform our consciousness. Now I am going to speak how we can transform our consciousness. Swami Vivekananda's unique contribution is that he said how we can transform our consciousness. I think Swami Vivekananda in this place need not have any introduction, special introduction of Swami Vivekananda. And so he is the 19th century spiritual teacher with the prophetic vision of the future humanity. And just we heard in continuation of that, he was the man without frontier. And as the British Indologist A.L. Basham said wonderfully, in centuries to come, Swami Vivekananda will be remembered as one of the main molders of the modern world. So I shall discuss Swami Vivekananda's point of view regarding the transformation of consciousness. It is not because this year is 150th birth anniversary, but because I fervently believe that over the passage of time, this message will become increasingly significant for the modern world. So again, Vedanta and Yoga. Transformation of consciousness by the synthesis of Yoga is indeed a unique interpretation of Yoga and Vedanta by Swami Vivekananda. Vedanta provides the goal orientation and Yoga brings about the transformation. In other words, Vedanta provides the theoretical framework and Yoga works out the practical details. This is the scheme of Swami Vivekananda's theory of transformation of consciousness. Traditionally, what is the concept of Vedanta regarding Swami Vivekananda? Traditional Vedanta stresses the transcendental aspect of Brahma, whereas Swami Vivekananda stressed both transcendental and immanent aspect of Brahman. This is also one of the unique contribution of Swami Vivekananda. Just we have heard there are 2 groups. One are extreme transcendentalist and other are extreme social and practical followers. So there are huge gulf of differences. But Swami Vivekananda, he utilize the principle of Vedanta in the transcendental and immanent aspect. Vedanta is not mere speculative philosophy, but a practical philosophy which aims at direct experience. And Vedanta is a philosophy which have a practical constituent and indivisible. It has the practice and experience, theory, practice, experience. These three steps. So Swami Vivekananda freed the scripture-bound, world-negative and exclusive philosophy of Advaita from the Hindu matrix and converted into a life-affirming, existential, practical and universal philosophy of all people all over the world. Then what is the concept of yoga of Swami Vivekananda? Yoga has two meanings. Yuj, in Sanskrit the root word is yuj. Yuj has two meanings. One is union, another. So the root word yuj has two meanings. One is union and another is concentration. So the Patanjali, he used the sense of concentration and the union between Atman and Paramatman that is used in the Vedanta. Yoga is the manifestation of the potential divinity of the soul. This is the unique interpretation of Swami Vivekananda combining yoga and Vedanta. So spirituality, what is spirituality according to Swami Vivekananda? Spirituality is not merely a belief or specific spiritual principles, nor a mere attitude towards life and reality. True spirituality is the orientation of one's whole life into a spiritual ideal and the transformation of one's whole life in accordance with the dictates of that ideal. So the transformation, unless there is the transformation of consciousness, we cannot consider it a spirituality. So in one place, Swami Vivekananda said, spirituality can be seen, can be touched, can be felt. It can be experienced. Unless we experience the spirituality, unless we see the spirituality, perceive spirituality, it has no meaning. Something is coming down from the sky. This spirituality has no meaning. So Swami Vivekananda's conception of yoga, 5 key original ideas. Yoga is the transformation of human consciousness into divine consciousness, whereas ordinary human life is the struggle for the transformation of animal consciousness into human consciousness. Animal instinct, human reason, and spiritual illumination are the 3 stages of human evolution. The ultimate aim and purpose of yoga is to enable a person to transcend the limitation of the senses and mind and gain direct supersensuous experience of the ultimate reality. The process of transcendence has been conceived in different ways. The removal of ignorance, God's self-revelation, etc. Then the yoga is the revolution. It differs from ordinary biological evolution in 3 ways. Evolution is, as pointed out by Darwin, is the struggle for existence. But yoga is the struggle for higher consciousness. Evolution affects only the body and mind, in Vedantic term, which is called Prakriti. That yoga is the manifestation of the Atman, the pure, unchanging consciousness. Evolution is slow, but yoga is the process of speeding up evolution. So it is a kind of revolution. Swami Vivekananda said in this speeding up theory, the idea of the yogi, the whole science of yoga, is directed to the end of teaching men how, by intensifying the power of assimilation, to shorten the time of reaching perfection instead of slowly advancing. So yoga is the process by which this evolution, this transformation of consciousness can be made very fast. Yoga is the conservation, concentration and sublimation of psychic energy, which is called prana. Again, one of the major contributions of Swami Vivekananda to the modern world is the reinterpretation and popularization of Raj Yoga. Raj Yoga is one of the 4 yogas taught in Tantras. But Swami Vivekananda's Raj Yoga is the unique combination of Patanjali's Yoga, Vedanta and Tantra. It is a unique contribution. Then the synthesis of yoga. Now we shall take up the synthesis of yoga. Swami Vivekananda's concept of synthesis of yoga. 4 main capacities or faculties of human beings: the cognition, thinking, volition, will, affection and connection, the feeling and drive, and the work. Each yoga is designed to develop one faculty or aspect of personality. But Swamiji suggested the synthesis of yoga. All the achievements and glories of humanity are the result of the proper development and use of these 4 faculties. Spiritual life does not mean the neglect of any of these faculties. Most people do not attain equal development for all the 4 faculties. Swami Vivekananda believed that one of the functions of yoga was to develop, purify and spiritualize each of the faculties. Jnana Yoga develops the intellectual faculty. Bhakti Yoga develops the emotional faculty. Raja Yoga develops the volitional faculty, and Karma Yoga develops the capacity for efficient work. For the full development of human personality, a synthesis of all 4 yogas is necessary. Swami Vivekananda said in this regard, "Would to God that all men were so constituted that in their minds all these elements of philosophy, mysticism, emotion and work were equally present in full. That is the ideal, my ideal of a perfect man. It is not the practice of a little of each yoga, that would be only the combination, not a synthesis of yoga, that is the combination only. So what is the synthesis of yoga? Synthesis of yoga means the unification of all the 4 yogas on the basis of a common theme. And Sri Aurobindo has echoed the same theory in his philosophy. According to Swamiji, 2 main themes of the synthesis of 4 yogas, that is, the manifestation of the potential divinity of the soul, the union of the individual self with the cosmic self. that this process takes place. It brings about the transformation of consciousness from the human consciousness into the divine consciousness. So these are the two main things. How this transformation takes place? In 3 stages: purification, awakening of the individual self, and seeing the Supreme Self in all. The freedom, the purification, the freedom from the instinctual drives and the strong emotional impulses is known as purification. The roots or seeds of these drives and impulses, like lust, anger, greed, egoism, etc., reside in 2 planes of the mind, the conscious and the unconscious. The impurities of the conscious mind can be detected through the alertness of mind. We can just detect this mind. The impurities of the unconscious mind can be eliminated by meditation. So these are the lower yogas. Then the last is the awakening of the individual self. Again, the higher yogas, it has 2 parts. In Tantra, it is called the awakening of Kundalini. And what is the effect of this transformation of consciousness? It is the union between the individual self and the Supreme Self. It manifests in our day-to-day life as well as in the higher transcendental experience. It brings about a radical transformation in one's attitude and quality of life. It changes our human relationship and gives them a divine quality. I shall quote Sister Nivedita's saying, which she wrote in the preface of Swami Vivekananda's complete works. She said, "If the many and the one be indeed the same reality, then it is not all modes of worship alone, but equally all modes of work, all modes of realization, everything. There is no distinction henceforth between sacred and secular. No labor is to pray. To conquer is to renounce. Life is itself religion." So this is the transformation of consciousness according to Swami Vivekananda. The transformation of consciousness within and the effect without. The external effect is that the whole attitude was divinized. This is the unique conception and contribution of Swami Vivekananda for the transformation of consciousness. Thank you very much.
Anyone has a question? Then
Yes, please.
I didn't know that Vivekananda had come to the United States in 1893. Do you know where he traveled?
Yeah.
It,
It is a wonderful book is there, actually is available. Each date, it is the date-wise chronology. You can find which date Vivekananda traveled to which place, where he stayed, and to whom he came across, and what is the significant event took place.
what's that called?
Swami Vivekananda's itinerary.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Any more questions?
really impressed by the activities of this Yoga Bharati. I happen to come in different occasions to this institution, and I am very pleased to see their dedication to the ideology and their effort to bring about the change not only in health, because it is an integrated process, the health, mind and spirituality. It is, yoga is combined with the integrated thing. So I found that yes, they are emphasizing three phases of